Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Zainal. I'm presenting my capstone project on comparison of Heuresis Pb200i and LPA-1 XRF devices in testing different lead-based bearing component. In my introduction, I'll be answering a couple of questions. First, childhood lead poisoning caused by exposure to lead in dust, paint, soil, drinking water, and consumer product. Lead affect children's brain, nervous system, and all other organs, but mainly the cognitive development. Lead added to paint in early 1900 to give it some durability. However, it's banned due to its toxic effect in 1978 nationwide and in 1960 in New York State. The XRF analyzer is a device used to test lead in paint and building component, and it's used by lead inspectors, risk assessor, to determine the presence and absence of lead. There is other methods such as lab analysis of the paint chips, which is more efficient, and in-home testing kits. However, those latter two methods are more destructive and less in terms of testing more component in comparison to the XRF analyzer, which is less destructive and more effective in terms of time, instance reading, and so on. What was the problem? New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene Healthy Home Program uses the LPA-1 device to test or to investigate lead poisoning in children with lead poisoning. And its device been used for a long time. Some problem shows up, such as the device exhibited some kind of inconclusive when testing around the threshold limit, where the abatement level at 1.0 milligram per square centimeter, the device will beep on both the positive and negative side and record a result of 1. And that's opened the door for contestation from the landlord side, the owner of the premises. And most of the time, the landlord contest and get the result reversed. To avoid that problem, the agency decided to look for another device to test, in which we tested a new device called Pb200i analyzer. And we did side-by-side comparison where we tested exactly 12 addresses with lead poison child, in which we collected 701 reading for both devices. Of that, there is about 148 readings that doesn't count, which is calibration readings. The device has to be calibrated at the beginning of and the end of the testing. And 553 readings who are non-calibration readings, which we count on. Since this issue of this issue of inconclusiveness shows mainly on metal component. 131 of the readings were metal. Those are the one that we concentrate on, or we take a closer look at. And the testing, as I said, it happened side-by-side testing. And the result was as the following. We're looking only at the metal readings. We have 115 readings where the two devices are agreed on the negative side, and there is 4 they agreed on the positive side. However, the area of interest is where the device had mismatched or disagreed on. We find 0 where positive on Heuresis, the new device, and negative on the LPA-1, the old device. But the most importantly, we find 12 readings that were tested positive on the LPA-1 and negative on the Heuresis, the new device. Of course, the department of going to send the commission orders or violation for those 12. 7 of those 12 readings were contested by the landlord, and the result come up as negative when they take a paint chip samples. So the department rescinded those violations, and those 7 are matching with Heuresis, and that's left us believe that Heuresis had better result when testing around the threshold limit. Conclusion: the two devices are exhibited high level of similarity when looking at non-metal component. However, when we look at the metal component, the Heuresis Pb200i are significantly more accurate than the LPA-1 when we're testing that readings close to the threshold limit. So our recommendation to the Department of Health is to use the new device or to replace the old device LPA-1 with the new device Pb200i. Thank you very much, and I will take your questions.